A suburban St. Charles mother of four is on a pro-life mission.
We have been inspired by what Jessica has done. We believe that her leadership is now resonating across the country, and we absolutely support her work, and we invite you to be part of that.
Jessica Schuessler is raising funds to get Brian Fisher's informative how-to book, Deliver Us from Abortion, into the hands of more than 10,000 Protestant and Catholic ministers in Illinois.
This book is a book that just completely grabbed my attention when I read it. When I was told about it from a post-abortive friend of mine, my first response to her was that I wasn't going to read the book. I knew it would be very hard of a book to read because I'm post-abortive myself, and I had no intention of reading it. But about a couple weeks after she brought it to my attention, I was at church, and the message was all about serving, and God really put it on my heart to get this book into the hands of every single Protestant and Catholic pastor in Geneva and St. Charles, Illinois.
And working with Online for Life, the Spread the Word campaign is going statewide, concentrating first on getting Deliver Us from Abortion to pastors in hot zones, the 12 cities in Illinois that have at least one abortion clinic. IllinoisFamily.org spoke with Jessica Schuessler and an Aurora pastor who is one of the hundreds of ministers in Illinois already teaming with the effort.
Prior to reading this book, it was a number. It was over 1 million children lose their lives to abortion every year, and that's how I thought of it. But after reading this, I could see in my mind what happens to these children, and it made me know that this is something that we all need to know about, that all believers need to know what's happening, and then they will rise up once it becomes more of a number, more than a number.
Well, once the pastors and other faith leaders read the book, what actions do you want them to take?
My personal hope is that they, number one, start reaching out to their other pastors in the city and start asking them, have they read the book, and engage them on the topic. It is really something I hope to spread from congregation to congregation of pastors really rising up on this topic. And another thing I would love to see is for pastors to begin preaching about this topic more. We have Sanctity of Life Sunday in this country, and that's a wonderful thing, but this is a national crisis and emergency, and it's not something that should be talked about once a year. It is something that should be talked about throughout the year. And if I could say one other thing that I'd like to see is for pastors to allow post-abortive women and men in their congregations to share their story. Because for me, that was when I came forward in my church to receive healing and to take a post-abortive Bible study. And for most of my friends who have received that healing, they came forward when they heard another person in their church share their personal testimony.
Now, the Reverend Dr. Julian Spencer is the pastor of the Main Baptist Church in Aurora. Of course, pastor, Aurora is home to a mega abortion clinic. Did that weigh into your thinking about getting involved in this Spread the Word campaign?
Well, I'll actually tell you that when I came to Aurora and came to Main Baptist Church, it was in 2007, which was right smack dab around the opening of this new abortion clinic. And so I was not really aware of how pervasive, I guess, the issue is in this area. And so just really kind of taken aback coming into this area as a new pastor to see that such a huge facility was being created. So absolutely it weighed into not just my coming here, but then now, some 7-8 years later, now receiving this book.
Well, you've read the book. What do you think?
All I can say is wow. I have many notes in my book, and most of them start with wow. Starting from all of the facts and figures that I did not know, the statistics, every 25 seconds a child is aborted. Over 56 million children since the 70s have been aborted. And to even know on a cultural level, if you will, the African American community being hit at such a high rate. I mean, just a lot of things I learned.
What steps are you taking to help stop abortion here in Illinois?
Well, I'll tell you, even before I received the book, connected with Pregnancy Information Center, which is a local agency all about protecting and saving life and ministering to mothers that are affected. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to continue to share first with my congregation and then with other pastors that I know the information that's in this book, specifically as it relates to the church's position, which as the book states, for a lot of predominantly African American denominations is silent. So silence is affirmation. But also, I'm going to see what opportunities exist for us to not just deal with and minister to mothers that are contemplating abortion, but then begin to create an atmosphere and environment for post-abortive mothers and fathers to really share and find that healing.
What message do you have for pastors who are kind of sitting on the fence on this issue and they've not read Deliver Us from Abortion? What would you say to those folks?
Well, the first thing I would say, Pastor, read the book. Get informed about what's really happening, and so that you can develop your own position. And then the second thing, I would challenge every pastor to really be clear about their position on abortion. Does God care about life? And when does God care about life? Does he care about life in the womb, or does he care about life after it has been delivered? And then lastly, begin to understand, again, as the book says, at least 50% of our congregations are affected by this. And so whatever side of the fence we land on, I hope that all pastors would care about life like God does. At least find a way to minister to those who are dealing with this, because it affects all area of church life and community life as well.
Thank you, Pastor. Now, Jessica, you just don't want pastors and other faith leaders to run with this. People inside the congregations need to step up too.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody can get a free copy of the Deliver Us from Abortion book. If you Google Deliver Us from Abortion free download, it will take you to a site where you can get the book for yourself. It's only 9 chapters, a very quick read, and I just encourage everyone to read it, because I am seeing, more so than pastors, I'm seeing lay people read this book and just spark a movement. And one thing I would love to see, in addition to spreading the information about what's going on in this country, is for Christians to really be flooding the zone of these abortion clinics with prayer, and not with protest, but with prayer. We need to be out there in droves praying, and being the last ray of hope as somebody pulls up to these clinics, and the first ray of mercy when somebody leaves.
To get a free copy of Brian Fisher's book, Deliver Us from Abortion, visit prolife.org/forward deliver-us-from-abortion/forward. And if you'd like to contribute to the Spread the Word campaign, go to deliverusfromabortion.com/forward grassroots/forward. For IllinoisFamily.org News, I'm Monty Larrick.